Atlantis Waites Reflections. Welcome to Atlantis Waites Reflections. Ever since 2020, there's been issues with general confusion, issues with faith. What does it all mean? Why are we here? So I have answers that make the most sense for me. I have spent a very long time figuring it out, what's going on, and I'd like to share it with you. Now, of course, my ideas are my ideas. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Faith is faith. It is what it is. But in this podcast, what we're going to go over, just as an intro, is we're going to go over what is astrology and what does it mean for my life. This is not an astrology training program. This is just an astrology application discussion. So you'll find that I'll throw in astrology in just about every single conversation, every single one. So then, what is Gnosticism? What is Buddhism? What does being a witch mean? What the heck is shadow work? So then you're going to ask the question, who are you and why should I listen to you? My name is Atlantis Waites, or that's what I go by online. That is not my legal name, but if I did not have a family, I would seriously consider changing my name. So I am a Scorpio, and I have been involved in all this metaphysical topics ever since I was 13. I was born with the psychic sight, having inherited it from the last 6 generations of firstborn daughters. I am the 7th generation firstborn daughter. My daughter is the 8th born generation. My daughter is far more sensitive than I am. And I'm more sensitive than my mother. So it's been steadily growing. It's a fascinating topic. But anyways, we'll go over that at some point. I was Reiki trained all the way up to master level on 7707. You're going to find that in my life, the number 7 resonates a lot. So it's kind of like my purpose. It's weird. Over time, back before 2020, I was very love and light. I was all about the law of attraction and The Secret. At the time, I read a lot of Sylvia Browne books. I love Sylvia Browne. You'll find that a lot of how I see things is based on what she sees, but we've also got a basic framework, very macro framework that I've managed to figure out actually very recently that I will go over in the next episode. That will be the base for everything that I talk about on this, okay? After 2010, I wasn't so much into the love and light stuff. I realized that was very escapist. So I got out of that and everything. I became my natural cynicism and my skepticism for things. I have a personality that people may not like. I will ask you questions about everything. I will question you. Truth deserves to be questioned. And if it really is truth, it can be questioned and not fall apart. That's why I do this. So that's what I do when I talk about my own skepticism. I am trying to find the truth. Okay. Fast forward to my pregnancy with my daughter in 2014. There were a lot of instances that occurred where the universe and angels and guides and beings and all that stuff became very attracted to me. And so I started learning about how to connect with those, figure out what they're doing, as well as I started deeply, deeply into astrology at that point because I wanted to understand my daughter and be a good parent for her. After that point, I learned the power of mindset. How it matters that you have to set a target for what you are looking for. Mindset and focus really matters on changing your life. These are all topics that we'll end up going over and everything. But what I'm trying to show you is who I am, why I am who I am. Even though half the time I don't know why I am the way I am. I just am. Hello, Sun conjunct Uranus. Okay, so around 2019, we moved across the country and everything. I started getting more into, ghost hauntings and spirit talk and that kind of stuff, spirit communication, Wicca and witch topics. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not what you would call a traditional witch. Yes, I have done things, but I am not someone who does things every day. Yes, I have a little altar, sure, but I don't do things with it every day. I do it very rarely, actually, just because a lot of what you speak brings into your existence, and you don't really have to do much of all that stuff, in my opinion. So everybody likes to do other things. It's fine. Take what resonates. A soulmate came in late 2019, and by middle of 2020, It really awakened everything inside me. Understanding myself, my inner reflection and stuff like that. I ended up addressing a lot of old problems that I used to have and everything. And what it did is that it opened me up so that I could explore all these topics without getting distracted by my own crap. I had a direct, sober experience with the Mother Mary entity, wide awake. Was not meditating. I was on the couch drinking coffee. Yeah, it's a crazy story that I'll talk about at some point, because I don't hide it. I do not hide it, but I do reference back to Mother Mary. She is somebody I very much revere. I ended up getting really good at astrology that year. I learned tarot that year, all the cards, and I started doing tarot readings online and stuff like that on YouTube. And, offering private readings and everything, which the tarot readings online, they were okay. I ended up quitting because I felt like I was feeding negative ego traps. In my good conscience, I can't do that to you. I can't sit here and feed you over and over and over again. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. So I ended up quitting those tarot channels too much, unless I really feel a pull that I have to do something. I started the Atlantis Waites Facebook page, despite having had this name online for 20 years. But I started the Atlantis Waites Facebook page back at the end of 2021. The whole goal with this Facebook page was just to have somewhere to dump my memes. Somewhere to dump my memes, somewhere to talk and chat and talk myself through processes and stuff like that. Because I do believe that in this Facebook page, and you'll find if you go surfing through it, I have these long posts, and honestly, I do think that sometimes it's kind of a channeling, where I'm channeling stuff. I say things that I don't even listen to my own advice. Pretty common, unfortunately. So I didn't really, I wasn't there to gain, popularity or anything like that, get anybody's attention, but it kind of blew up on me. As of this recording, I have about 8,100 followers, which is kind of great. It's not a lot, but it's humble. I mean, probably most of those people don't see my page, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So I just needed a place to vent this side of my personality, because I spent most of my life doing this normie thing. So I have like two different sides to my outward personality. I have a Gemini midheaven. So anybody who knows what that means, yeah, two sides to my personality makes perfect sense. I'm a Scorpio with a Gemini midheaven, which shows that my outward self, I have two different ways that I present myself. So the first one's the normie. This is the married mom of two, who is in real estate. Normal person, lives in a normal town, and presents herself as normal. And then there's the Atlantis Waites side. Everything metaphysical, psychic, mediumship, whatever. I like to say that I'm a seer because I can do a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades, kind of like, any Gemini is. So I just needed something to work on. I really focused heavily on shadow work, which is a focus on inner work to fix those inner problems that we have, the emotional stuckness that we have that reflects in everything the rest of our life. So basically, to end this whole intro into who I am and what you can expect on this podcast, is, I have a Virgo Mars that's conjunct my ascendant. I am very cerebral. I am ruled by Mercury in the 3rd house. So again, more Gemini, Virgo, that kind of stuff, with a Scorpio flavor to it, which digs right deep down to the core. So like I said, I dig down for the truth, and I use that Virgo Mars and Virgo rising and Scorpio Mercury to help me out. And I use the Sun conjunct Uranus in my chart to break through barriers. Because the thing is that sometimes these boxes that we set up for ourselves are absolutely incorrect. Let's try doing hop from this box to this box and connect them. That kind of thing. So that's the whole goal, is to bring it all together, to mesh it all together, harmonize it all. Bring it all together. That's my goal with all these talks and everything, to explore these topics and just share what I've learned in the process. If you like it, fantastic. Subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, and join me on my Facebook page. You can join me on my Facebook page or on X at Atlantis Waites. I'll see you there, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you for joining me today on today's episode. If you want to connect further, check me out on social media, Atlantis Waites on Facebook and X.